So time to take a look again at the morning papers. Here with me reviewing them are Alison Stewart-Allen, who's a Chief Executive of International Marketing Partners, and Paul McNamee, UK Editor of The Big Issue. So welcome back to both of you. So Alison, we're going to kick off with your choice first of all, and this is on the front page of The Guardian, and it's the decision by Wimbledon to lift the ban on Russian and Belarusian players.
Yeah, so this is quite a big deal because, obviously these two countries, in the eyes of most of the rest of the world, is not very favorable right now for maybe obvious reasons. So what they are planning to do is to make the players and their staff agree via a neutrality agreement to 3 conditions. So one of those conditions is that they are not representing Russian or Belarusian states, so they have to say that they don't represent their countries. They also have to confirm they're not getting funding from their countries or from companies controlled by Belarus, or Russia, and that they cannot expressly say that they support the invasion or that they support their home governments. So they're having to take a stand of neutrality in order to play. Now, a lot of people don't think this is a great idea, but if you think about the sport, if you think about how hard these players have worked, just because they're from these countries doesn't mean they necessarily endorse the actions of their governments. And by saying so explicitly through these neutrality agreements means they get to stay and play during the course of the Wimbledon Championships, which I think is a great thing. I mean, every sport needs talent, regardless of what country it happens to come from. And I think this is a very wise move and a way to make sure that these players aren't being pawns in the process of focusing on being, expert at their sport.
Well, yes, and others disagree, as you know, but it will certainly prompt another debate about how other sports deal with this. Certainly Ukraine not happy about that decision, are they? No. The front page of The Guardian, actually their main story focuses on the Labour leader talking about the problem with sewage in our rivers. He's accusing the Tories, as it says there, of turning rivers into open sewers. But if we turn to The Times, Paul, you were interested in this story about the government introducing unlimited penalties for water companies over this issue.
Yes, I mean the issue of things being dumped in rivers and around our coasts has been a live one for some time, and Fergal Sharkey, the ex-100 Tons frontman, has been somebody who's made a lot of noise about this and brought our attention to it and to the problems with it. And the Times have got this particular story saying that a cap that water companies and polluters face, which at present is £250,000, is going to be lifted, and Theresa Coffey is due to lift it and announce this next week, that it will be unlimited. In fact, this isn't particularly new policy. The government said that they were going to do this back in October, and at that time they said that it was going to be up to 10 times that cap, and perhaps more, and now they're saying it's unlimited. And while this is welcome and hopefully is a stick that will make particular water companies behave better and stop just dumping this detritus all into the rivers and into the sea, they I guess could come back and say, well, there's bigger issues at play here. There was a report from the Lords last week that said that the 3 key problems around this were both the government themselves, because they hadn't implemented enough policy to do something about it, Ofwat, and the water company. So it was a 3-pronged problem. And they also said it would cost about 50 billion to fix the Victorian sewage system to bring it up to standard, which will probably come out of our pocket. And incidentally, it's about 50 billion or 55 billion that has gone into shareholders' pockets since the water companies were privatised. So you can see the problem with privatisation is not necessarily being a useful thing. It is a good policy, I suppose, if it is implemented. But you do wonder how well it'll be implemented if they do come and say you've got to pay 20 million or 30 million, and then, not to use too bad a pun, but it is something of a drop in the ocean compared to what is needed to really fix the sewage problems.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be an issue we're going to be talking about for a while, isn't it? I can pretty much guarantee that. Front page of the FT next, their main story focuses on Donald Trump, but Alison, I know you wanted to talk about the ChatGPT story that's featured there as well.
Yes, well, in Italy, the Information Commissioner has banned ChatGPT for the foreseeable future and is going to probably issue massive fines because of a data breach. So it's turned out that for 9 hours, this chatbot was publicizing, if you like, user information, including credit card information, their names in full, their home addresses, and all sorts of private information that should never have been allowed to be accessible in the public domain. And really what we're seeing in this ban is the fact that, OpenAI, who own ChatGPT, and other online platforms are going to have to be making sure that they have the right measures in place. They have enough staff.
Yeah, we must leave it there. Apologies to cut in. We're out of time. See you both in the next hour. Thanks very much.
Thank you.